Okay, so now NeoComp and NeoGroup. For those of you that use NeoGroup, the functionality that I'm about to describe is very similar in the two products. And what it does is when you form, we'll stick on comps, when you form a composite, you form it and then that's it. Now, if you want to offer like that in a different look and either be able to order it or offer it online, then what you usually do is repeat it, maybe give it a subtype. Some of you are using in that fashion, right, subtypes. Now, it could be the same students that appear in each comps, but you change whatever it is that you change, give it a subtype, it appears online, and then you can order it. Now, that always bothered me a little bit because subtypes are really not meant to be used like that. So we introduced the concept of versions. Now, what's the difference between subtypes, and I'll get into versions in a second. I tend to think of a subtype as you have a set of subjects, and that's what it is. Let's say you have a class, we'll actually form one. This is Dino's computer, and I'm not totally familiar with it, but I wouldn't want to use mine anyway. Mine's got all testing templates on it, just looks yucky. All right, so if you want a different look to that, then what people would usually do is do grade 2, 3, and then maybe, sorry, just give it a subtype. So it's exactly the same, kids, right? But a subtype. Now that's not how you should use subtypes. What a subtype is a definition of a template. This is a subtype. So let's say you get all these kids together, and that might be like a year level, so you give it a year subtype. Oh, sorry, I edited the initial one, so we'll bring that back. So we now have so we have a grade 2 and 3 comp, and we have a year level comp where that entire year level all appear in a single comp. Now this, when you post this online, they will both be presented. So a student appearing in grade 2 and 3 will also have the option to buy the year level. Now it's a completely different composite. It's a completely different definition of a composite. One is a class composite, the other one is a year level composite. So that is really what a subtype is. It is the definition. Who do you want to appear in this composite? Now, what I've done now is introduce the idea of versions of that composite, be it a subtype or not. So I can, and you will notice, those of you who are a bit observant have noticed that there's one less button here now. And what we do is I have combined the two screens, and remember there used to be like a setting screen and a design screen. They're both in the one box. It's getting a bit tight in here. That really we could use some tabs here. So when I feel like it down the track, I'll make it a little bit easier to use. But at the moment, it's all on the one screen. So it's a combination of what used to be the designs and the settings is the one screen. Now, I go and add a new version of that, and I give it a code. Let's just say maybe call it version 1. And I just give it, change whatever I like. So now, for grade 2 and 3, I have this, which is like the standard version, and a completely different look of the same subjects. All right? And I can even give it even more. I can you know, sort it differently. I can just change any of the options that are applicable to that composite. Do you get the idea? So you build a composite, whether or not you decide to give it a subtype, and then for that composite, you then create different versions. Now, I'll show you something really neat. I'll get rid of all those. Yes? We'll get to that on printing. Yep, we'll get to that. Yes? I'll show you something even better so we can all go to the zoo. Where is he? There he is there. Okay. Now, I'm going to form composites en masse using this button here. And I'm going to form them for... You've all done that before, form them en masse. I'm now going to add a version. I don't know, whatever. You know, you can change anything, really. I don't know what I'm up to. Am I up to version 3? We have now made, however many there are now, 12 times 3, you know, 36 different composites. And you can keep going. Each one has, well, sorry, two different versions. Each composite has a couple of different versions. All right, any questions so far? Now, when it comes time to print, we have this window now, and it gives you all your composites, and you at this stage you can select which of the versions you want to print. So you select your version here, the number of copies. If you can order the subtype and version combination all the way back from iOS, from paper orders, using F3. Dino will go through all that with you. And that order is picked up in this window here. So it will tell you which of the versions according to the subject's order. Obviously, we don't have any orders in there, so it's all at 0. So this will tell you which versions everyone's ordered, and you just go through and print. Okay, so far? A blank. This is like. I might need to put glasses on so I can see you. Yes? If you export them? Yeah, if you print the map, sorry. Yes? Print the map, will it, how does it name it? Does it name it version 3, version 2? And does it keep the grade in front of it, you know? Because right now we're having an issue when we print bitmaps of these, and we have multiple versions now for this Not really, Brad. Sorry. Okay. All right. So where are you printing to? The bitmap, right. So you're using this? Look, it might be better. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the generic bitmap driver. We could use the generic bitmap driver, and I don't think it knows about versions in there, but it could know about versions. So we just add that as a field and plonk it wherever you want. The version tag to either create a folder or the file name out of the version. That would be the solution. I don't really want to work on this because this is outdated, yeah. But definitely the bitmap driver, the generic bitmap driver, could definitely. It could be anywhere. So if this is the one that I'm talking about. So we could perhaps have an add version code, and you can use that as part of your folder structure. So, are you all familiar with this generic bitmap driver? Yes. So what this for those of you who don't know, in effect does is it really creates a series of bitmaps wherever you want it to. Now, but you can designate how you want those bitmaps created, use any of the add codes, different naming conventions and the folder structure that you want it to create. So really you can make it do whatever you like. And as I said, the version and subtype of the page is not passed into this, but it could be, so you can make use of that if you wanted to. Yes, any more questions on versions? Good question. So do you like chocolate? Now, if we go back into iOS-specific options, down the bottom, exclude for online ordering. That was there even with the original pre-4.6. So that is still valid, exclude from online ordering. If you click that, nothing happens. If you, however, leave that off, so they are included in online ordering, you will see there's an option up the top. Description, it says, optional using on iOS. Nice group photo. So this version will be offered online for this version, and that is a description that will be used to describe the packaging. You can sort of call that whatever you like. So yes, what do you want me to go into online just very quickly about what will be shown, or would you just want to show it whenever it is later on today or tomorrow? It is absolutely brilliant, right? Yeah.
Just go, you can all do this if you've got computers, just go to the Timestone website, the homepage. Down the quick links, see our online ordering system in action. The virtual groups example is obviously comps. Click on that. There's two different types of comps. One's a rotated virtual group, the other one's a static. If I'm ordering the rotated, when you hit to add to cart, the other versions are offered to you like options.
Think about this for a second, right?
That's really cool.
Okay. All that you've done is you've formed your comps. This is who I want in that group. And you simply go in, create for all of them en masse if you like, create a new version, click the template, save, click the next template, save, click the next template, save, you upload the job, and this is what the customer sees. Like, it's just so easy. I think that's pretty cool. Now, as I said, Dino will also show you the ordering in NeoPack Pro later on today. Now remember, this is online. So you go into NeoComp, you form those comps, you upload, and this is what you see online. However, you can also, using your barcodes, and actually you can specify using sticky barcodes and all. For those of you that don't know what sticky barcodes is, don't worry about it. Order these products in Capture Post or back using Data Post or whatever, and that they will eventually get printed. And Dino will show you that a little bit later on today. There's a couple of new things that we've added. Which job can you said I can open yesterday, Dino? G? Something that's new in 4.6 is the following. If I double click on that, so it's the blue frame subject block. If I go into my template report from this morning, look up blue frame, double click on it. Now, what I've done is I've gone into the template designer, click the subject block, click the image in that subject block. So this is new, and I can do my NeoPack Pro type settings and set this to black and white. If I now go back to that, so it's black and white. The same for sepia. Now this Bill would know came out of SPAC earlier this year. And so you can have any of your subject blocks, and this would be good with, if you think about it, with virtual groups. So you can have like your main person up the front in colour, and all their teammates in the background, just in black and whites. Yes, ma'am. There is no opacity. I was thinking about that this morning. You can achieve opacity. You can set a mask, really. But it would be nice, and I was thinking about it this morning, it would be nice if... I mean, I've used some silly... I mean, this isn't going to obviously be... But I'm using this as a mask. Oh, no, yeah, you can see her outline. But it just goes to prove a point that you can set a mask. Now, I had a mask and I put it in there. And if you have a grey mask at 10% or 50% or whatever the case may be, then you will get that image being masked out. But what I was saying before, it would be good is if you could just say an opacity of 40, so you don't have to go through the trouble of setting a mask. But you can achieve this now. Did you all get that? I'll put the template back because I said that Dino's computer. Now, something else that was added in 4.6 is the placement. Now, because I do so much, or in any given period, I can't remember what was new. What could you do before? You could horizontally align. Now you can vertically align. So if I'll just, is there a good one I can work with? Do you know a good virtual group? The other Peter John? Sorry, Dana, say that again. So virtual group, single line. Which one, which is a good template? Yeah, this will do. That's okay. Now, so this is baseball 3. Why's it got a couple of block areas? Right, okay, because the other one, which is a single one? Yep, that's a single, okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this template and I'll wreck it just to show you, which one was it? What, were you saying something, Bill? The absolutely worst template designer I ever used was not this. It used to be bad, but I think Richard did a lot of work a few years ago. Was an application called MyOb. Did anyone ever use MyOb? Oh, it was awful. MYOB. This is not really going to show me. I have to. Okay, so I'm getting the block area. Okay, so this will show me. So they're now centered in the middle. If I go back to the template designer, I can now align to the bottom. You can sort of see a slight movement. Align them to the, to the top. So that's new for 4.6. It used to be only center only. And the option also the block placement. The block placement used to be from left to right, right? From right to left. And the bottom three, these three options, are new. So what it will do is it will place the people alternating. So alternating out. So you get every second person being behind. And you can also center out and center in. So that's really how they're placed. If you were to change that option, go back and look at the first one, alphabetically, or the sorting order that you've used to place them does not change. So you'll still get the A's on this side and the Z's on that side if you sorted them alphabetically. All that changes is their placement on the page, right, relative to each other. So there are three new options. I'm not sure, is there a need for people to sort, say, the A's here and then the B's and C's, D's going out that way? Somebody said there's a need for that, but no, really? Who? Oh, Yeah, yeah, there is a need. We decided they might want like the coaches at the front and that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, but you couldn't get, you can achieve that in your sorting, but you can't get, even now, say the higher ranked people at the front and then going back in a pyramid. You can't get that. Yeah. Tweak, yeah. We know about relative and tweak. Okay, so they're new options. Yes, sir. Yes.
These are shot full length, so it's not an issue. If you've shot inverted groups half length or three-quarter length, the align to the bottom is really useful because then you don't have to find and miss the high the fact that their legs are chopped off. That's the motivation for that. So you align to the bottom, they're at the bottom of the subject line. So the legs, the missing part of their legs are missing. If that makes sense. That's the idea of that. Yeah, know what I mean? Inverted groups. Yeah. So that avoids you having to bring in a graphic just to hide the fact that their bottom part of their legs are missing. Yeah, Brad.
So when you say graphic, you mean flipping the image upside down so that they're mirrored, so it looks like there's more of them?
What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Mirror them, so like they're standing in water.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just extends their shirt, right, or whatever, to make it look a little longer.
Oh yes, yes, of course. So we'll put this back, all the way back, and we'll keep using this one. Now, what we're going to do, it's a pseudo shadow. It's not really. No, I don't get enough of an overlap. Let me see if I can pick another template. See how we go. I did the horizontal. I want a block that's tighter. I want a block that's tighter, Dino, so with the shoulders overlap. Is there anything that you know? Oh, I was changing the vertical. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just stick. No, we'll get one without the writing. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now, which one did I use? Let me go in, see. So base for IV. So that was from right to left. Let's go alternating. Is it? Yeah, because I'm not noticing any difference. I've got to keep changing ones. It's this one. So you can see this guy is at the front and there's two people behind him. Then it alternates, yeah. And the same with the center options. It's hard to see, but this one, they're all going back. Then they now start going forward, you know. So in this direction, they're in front of each other. And in this direction, this direction, they're in front of each other. This direction, they're in front of each other. Well, the bat's next to their body, so yeah, it's either... Oh, is it luck? Yes. And look, that's basically it. Versions came out of the need to give, because in NeoPack Pro, you can pick a subject, pick a layout, and then pick an item to really change that layout, you know, give it a red background or blue background or put some text on there. And that really nice functionality in NeoPack Pro for a given layout to provide different items, those options, I really just took that and duplicated it by way of versions in Neo Composite. And those of you that use Neo Group, some are familiar with the version functionality in Group. With groups, you couldn't even do subtypes. If you had, do we have a group job, Dina? No, that's all right. So Group as product, as Dino mentioned, you have the kids sitting down like that, and you take a group shot of them, and then you go into the application and you put the names underneath, and then you can print that. Now, there was no way in Neo Group of taking that class and even getting a subtype. So they had like a different look, different frame, that you just couldn't do it. So my first program that I added versions to was Neo Group at the end of last year, after the Australian user seminar down there. And that worked out well, and then I just took it and adapted that to Neo Composite. So they're very similar in the way that they work in terms of versions, ordering them, putting them on iOS, and having people ordering them online. It's really nice. I really do like the way it's worked out. All right. Yes?
That's okay. It'll do us now. We'll change at lunchtime. He said you can put a comp or a group, as in Neo Group, whole onto a NeoPack template. And one of the great places you can do that opens up the possibility of doing products like this one is, which is a 4-page photo book, like a yearbook. That's obviously on the left. The left-hand page is just normal portrait stuff, a graphic, at name. Over here is the subject image and some scribbling stuff for them. The interesting one is this third page. Double-click on that. It's going to call in a composite of a particular subtype and version. It's for a given subject, it'll get their composite page of subtype stat version D3. And then the fourth page is, again, just some stuff. Now let me open that same job in NeoComp to show you the comp that we're talking about. So for each grade, there's a subtype ROT for rotated and stat for static. And then, well, not for each grade apparently, but if we go to, for example, year 10A, 10B, we've made 3 versions. The default, a version called D2 and a version called D3. So keep that in burn that into your brain. This one, D3, the stat subtype, the version D3 is what we are calling onto this image hole into NeoPack. So that when we form this, and I'll just do it manually, get rid of those. If I go to year 10A and order this NeoPack template, it's a NeoPack template, photo book only, and it brings in their comp. So everybody gets their yearbook, photo book, whatever you want to call it,
with a comp on that page. That comp could be a rotated, it could be a static, it could be any of the combinations of version and or subtype. Key thing is here is you on a NeoPack template, you can put a composite on it. In the past, when you've wanted to do that, you've had to go to NeoPack, print it to bitmap, import it into NeoPack, match it to the folder, put a label on the template, get it done. Then you realise that the name was wrong, and you have to go back to fix the name, print it to bitmap again, re-import it, blah, 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 blah. This is live. This is live rendering it onto the NeoPack layout. And this is one example of where you would use it. It would be photo books, but there's plenty of other things. In fact, you could just do your NeoComp printing in NeoPack. It's a live connection to your NeoComp pages, and you modify anything in NeoComp, you'll see it in your NeoPack layout. It's